You can absolutely crush Google Ads with a small budget, and in this video I'm going to show you how. I'm not just going to tell you the information either. On screen right now I have an account that we're running actively at a small budget. We just got started with them, they've never run Google Ads before, and this will give you a good sense of what you can do to start off with Google Ads for your supplement brand with a small budget, so you understand what gold mine you're sat on, so you don't stay in this like small budget mindset, because you might have clicked on this video thinking, okay cool, I've got a supplement brand, I'm not quite sure about Google, I want to start with a small budget. But you never want to stay at a small budget forever. So whilst I'm going to teach you and show you how to crush on Google Ads with a small budget and literally milk it for all that it's worth, I still want you to never stay in that small budget mindset forever, and I'll show you how to graduate from that so that you can scale to $100 a day, $500 a day, $1,000 a day, $10,000 a day in ad spend, so you can acquire thousands of new customers per month for your supplement brand on Google Ads. By the way, we do this every single day at Demand Capture. Go to demandcapture.com if you want more information about how to run Google Ads for your supplement brand, and if you want us to run them for you, then you know what to do on that page. So we've been working with this brand for about a month now, and as you can see, we haven't spent that much over the last month. So the 1st of July to the 31st of July, we spent $1,600, but we got back 6.1K. And as you can see in the split of this, the bottom campaign here is the branded search campaign. This got back $1,500. But this one here, the top prospecting campaign, which is a PMAX campaign, got back the majority of the spend at 3.47 ROAS, right? So even though we're only spending $60 a day, we're getting really good ROAS here. Now the break-even ROAS is 3.2. Keep that in mind. This ROAS might seem really high, especially if you're a supplement brand. You can usually, with the right sort of offer and the right sort of COGS, scale all the way up to like a 1.6, 1.5 break-even ROAS. And that's typically the area that we do run in terms of the brands that we work with. However, this brand is its own particular case, which just goes to demonstrate that we can work with all these different types of brands, regardless of like what their COGS are. You just need to run the numbers and understand what a good campaign would be for you. So that's context around the brand. The interesting thing you need to know when it comes to crushing Google Ads with a small budget though, is that it doesn't always necessarily start within the campaigns and within the Google Ads dashboard itself. If you really want to crush it, all of the work starts here in the Google Merchant Center, because with small budgets, you want to run the highest leverage placements and campaigns that you want to run. And these are typically going to be through the product feed, either through shopping or through PMAX, which is where we started. Depending on your risk tolerance, depending on the amount of data that you might have in your account, you might be able to go straight into PMAX because you have a lot of account level conversion data that Google can leverage for its smart bidding and AI. But if you don't have any conversions at all, it's a completely fresh account and you're trying to find that pool product market fit, then you've got to start out with shopping. Both of those places, in terms of where most of the revenue is going to come from when it comes to your Google Ads, it's going to start here in the Google Merchant Center. So your product feed is basically your number one priority. So before you even start running Google Ads at all, you want to optimize your product feed. Go over here to products. This brand here is only one main SKU, so it makes it very easy for us to optimize. And what we've done here with this product is optimize it around cold traffic. So we're trying to acquire new customers. We're not starting with the brand name right at the start. We're taking the highest volume product level keywords and putting them right at the front, because this is how Google does its targeting when it comes to shopping ads. It looks at the product title and it looks at the product description. It also looks at your landing page and where you're linking it to. So it gives a general sense of what terms to start putting your product and your ads in front of when people are searching for these things. So as you can see here, we've got world's best beef tallow potato chip snacks without seed oils, which is another USP here. Grass-fed tallow fried. People are looking for tallow fried chips, that type of stuff. 3 ingredients only is another USP. And then we've got the brand name, which is Rosie's Chips. That's their positioning. They're positioning themselves as the world's best. That's a positioning I do recommend for most brands. If you do have the best product, there's no reason why you can't leverage that in your marketing, because even though you can just claim that you're the best and make that claim in a crowded market, and people will naturally gravitate towards that and at least investigate it. Then they go to your page and then like, okay, they have all the reviews, they have the positioning, they have the branding, they have the offer. Yeah, sure, I'll go try them out. So that's always a good positioning to have in terms of being world's best. So that's the product title on the right here. This is what the ad looks like. It's just a product there. But the first thing people see is world's best beef tallow potato chip, which is exactly what you're going to click on if you're typing in beef tallow potato chips and that type of stuff. You want to call out and grab their attention and literally hold a gun to their head saying like, yeah, we are the best. Come and click us and find us out. The ad is there to sell the click. Even though shopping can give like the promotions, the offer, the pricing, all that type of stuff to get people to convert, you're really just trying to get them to your page and let your page do a lot of the heavy lifting. So when it comes to product titles and product feed optimization, you've got to remember like what's the actual use for this placement. And most of the time it's going to be just getting them to click the ad in the first place. So that's where your copy should be geared on, and that's how you crush at a small budget. You need to get people to your page, then you can optimize based on that. And that's where the optimization and mindset comes in. So not only just the product stuff, you want to do your shipping returns, you want to do your business info, you want to do your store quality. The only things which isn't getting us to exceptional store quality, which is what you should be aiming for, is just the fact that we don't have a promotion running at the moment and we're still in the process of setting up the store rating. Once that's done, once you're exceptional, Google will give you a top quality store badge and increase your click-through rate. So make sure that you focus on your store quality as well. The other thing that you ought to focus on when you're looking to crush Google Ads with a small budget for your supplement brand is around the conversion tracking. So to do your conversion tracking, you go into summary, you go into goals, and you just need to make sure that you have these 4 conversions here. So you've got your page view, which is your product view, you've got your begin checkout, add to cart, and then purchase. You also want to go into settings, and then once you're in settings, just making sure that enhanced conversions is turned on. And again, if we go back to the conversion settings here, you can see we have 2 purchase conversion tags. So this secondary one is the old one, and that was done as a conversion source with GA for, but as you can see, it only got 91 conversions over the last month. Whereas the one that we set up with Google Tag, which is a conversion source on the website following best practice, then as you can see, we got 109 conversions. So this is like capturing a lot more of the conversion value. And that's 20 conversions, which Google can get to know your customers more and optimize the ads around more, optimizing your bidding, optimizing your impression share, and optimizing the amount of customers that you're able to get in. So it's really important that you have proper conversion tracking set up as well. If you want a full guide on how to do that properly, as you can see, when they set it up just themselves, they set up a shoddy conversion tracking where they only got 91 conversions over the last 90 days for this tracking source. However, for this one, we're getting many more conversions and we're able to optimize much faster. It's a one-time setup. You just get it to set up once. If you want to learn how to do that, first link in the description, get our free Google Ads course. Put in your email, gives you everything you need to run Google Ads at a small budget, at a large budget, basically all of the steps that you need to be able to run it yourself. And one section in that is how to do conversion tracking properly. It'll take you like 5 minutes. We even give you the container that you need to install. It's literally plug and play. Just do this once, it's all set up and it's good to go. So those are the two things outside of the ads to get right when you're looking to crush Google Ads with a small budget. Next is the campaigns that you're going to be running. Basically at a small budget, you don't have much room to experiment with. So you want to go with the highest level campaigns that you can run. And these are going to be shopping feed campaigns. However, because there was a lot of conversion data in this account already, we decided to go with PMax instead. Still using the shopping platform within PMax, but having a bit of search there as well. And let me show you. We also added in a branded search campaign, which is what every single brand should have to protect their own brand name, to get really cheap conversion data on their tag so they're able to optimize their prospecting campaigns even faster and even further, and to separate out the branded conversions from the non-branded conversions in their prospecting campaigns. So the prospecting campaigns can only optimize around new customers. I've made a couple of videos on branded search campaigns before, but basically in terms of the settings, you're optimizing around sales and purchases. You're not going on search network. You're not going on display network here. You have a moderate budget, but the bidding strategy is the most important thing here. You want to bid for absolute top of page results. We're currently at 90% with a $2 CPC limit. Sometimes you run it at 95% at a $3, but that's basically the max you need to go. The CPCs are typically between 1 cent to 10 cents in terms of your own brand name, and we just leave it at that. Of course, as with everything, make sure that your locations are set up right. So the country that you're bidding in, plus presence, not presence or interest in, because you'll get people outside your country. With a branded search campaign, you can go worldwide. However, this brand only ships in the US, and we only kind of focus on the US. If we're trying to get customers in the US, we only want to show in the US. So don't advertise where you don't sell to. If you are a global brand, obviously just go all countries and territories. And as for the brand terms, just your core brand name. So we have different variations, exact match of these core brand names. We've turned these off here, and as you can see, this is a lesson that we learned recently. You don't want to have like your brand name plus the product level. You just want your brand name, because the product level will start getting in people who aren't like brand aware. This is specifically for brand aware stuff, and you can see the difference in like conversion value over cost, which is the ROAS. If I just go into columns and turn on CPC as well, you can see the difference in CPCs when you start adding in these colder terms, these product terms, potato chips and tallow chips, you know, $1.91, 93 cents, especially when you're on target impression share. You don't want to be bidding that high for these type of terms, even if you include your brand name in it at exact match. Whereas if you just have your core brand name, it will still show on these terms if people type it in, because it's a close match, but they're at 38 cents, 45 cents, 61 cents, that type of stuff. And that's what we're looking for in terms of cheap clicks, protection over our brand name because of impression share, and making sure that you're getting good conversions on your tag from people who are already aware of you. Again, if you want more info in terms of like justifications for running branded search campaigns, how to set this up properly, more than just like what I've done for screen now, first link in the description to the Google Ads course. Which then leaves all of the prospecting, because we want new customers, right? So we used a PMax campaign strategy with just one single asset group, because it is just one SKU. If you have a lot of SKUs, just start with your hero product. If you have a lot of conversion data on your account, then start with a PMax and just a single asset group built around either that collection or that problem that you're solving, but just like the main hero product that you're doing there. And you just want to follow best practices with it. If we go into listing groups, this will show you the conversions that happened on the shopping placements. As you can see, the ROAS is a 4, right? Just on the shopping placements alone. Also, PMax isn't necessarily a black box anymore. So if you are on a small budget, you can just run PMax, because you can go into here into search terms and see the terms that people were searching for that converted on PMax. If I just filter by conversions, as you can see, it's the product level stuff, right? Tallow chips, beef tallow potato chips, beef tallow chips, no brand names at all, because they've all been excluded immediately. And this will be mainly for the search placements. So people who search tallow chips, the PMax ad came up and then they clicked, and that's gotten us a 6.54 ROAS, which I'll tell you how to leverage at the end of the video in terms of expanding out, increasing your budget, that type of stuff. And when it comes to the asset group itself, there's a couple of things that you want to be doing, but just click into edit assets. We filled out all of the different assets here, all the long headlines, the descriptions with best practice copy, 20 images, all different aspect ratios and that type of stuff. Business logo, business name, site links, no videos. You don't want to be doing any video stuff, especially in PMax, but also especially in terms of lower budgets. You just want to follow best practice here. We have one promotion in here in terms of this asset, which we, ought to add to the GMC. Pricing assets, really important. Call outs, structured snippets. Literally built everything and gave Google everything it needs from best practice point of view for performance max asset groups to perform well. And that's why it is performing well. Also, we have all of our search terms here. No brand here at all, just one competitor, all different search phrases and search themes and opportunities that people would be searching for. Added all our audience signals and data and stuff as as well around website visitors. And even better, we can create additional audiences based on search terms that people have already converted on, which is what we're going to do after we continue scaling this brand from a low budget. So as you can see, there's a strong basis, a lot of conversions coming in on cold terms, brand is segmented out, the product feed is optimized best. But where do you go from here? Well, you can keep scaling your budgets, that's fine. Once you start maxing out the one singular campaign and keeping the signal density high within the one PMAX and the one branded terms, you want to expand out. So you're able to launch additional shopping campaigns to get more coverage on the shopping platform. You're able to launch specific product aware search campaigns based on already high converting search terms that come through from the PMAX side of things. If your product can sustain it, then you do run problem aware search campaigns, which is another video on our channel on how to scale your supplement brand with cold search ads that are problem aware. So it's not advertising straight on the product, which is like tallow chips, but you're advertising stuff like best healthy snacks, for instance, where people aren't aware of your product, but they are aware of the problem that they're trying to solve. And that's how people usually use Google. And that's where most of the opportunities lie. We'll never get any like problem aware stuff when it comes to PMAX, especially at a small budget set up this way. But if you do want to expand out, that's where dedicated search term can come in when you start scaling to $100, $200, $300 a day. But even just with this setup alone, a properly set up PMAX at a low budget or a shopping campaign at a low budget and a branded search campaign, you can literally just scale one shopping campaign, one branded search campaign at a low budget at like $50 a day and just crush it with Google if you get the fundamentals right. Also helps this product's amazing. Also helps that their landing page is amazing. Also helps that they've got a after sale process which converts at 17%, which we also wrote for them to increase their AOV by 10%. So that helps too in terms of the COGS and margins. Also helps that we've consulted with them in terms of getting a better 3PL so their COGS go down. There's a lot of things you can do to crush with Google Ads at a small budget because this budget is a constraint and you look at other things that you can pull and leverage, which is your landing page, your conversion rate, your COGS, your unit economics, that type of stuff. So hopefully that gives you some food for thought in terms of the fundamentals you need to crush Google Ads on a small budget. What I implore you to do though is not stay in a small budget mindset forever. If you build a machine which gets a 3.47 ROAS on new customers, no matter how many customers there are, then the budget ought to be infinite, right? You put $1 in and, you know, before COGS, before everything else that you need to account for in terms of running your business, given what your margins are, you get 3.47 out, right? And as long as that's above break even, that's profitable. So you're basically morally obligated to keep feeding this money machine, which is what Google Ads and ad campaigns are, as far as you can until it hits break even. You scale that bitch. Don't just stick like, okay, I need to run Google Ads at a small budget, blah, blah, blah. No, once you got it working at a small budget, scale it. And this is what most agencies won't tell you. They'll charge you like wherever the retainer is, just to stick at this budget level. But I showed this client on the call, it's like, hey, look, we can really scale this. Let's scale it. And so that's what we're gonna do. I'm making this video just after that call, laid out the plan that we're gonna scale it, different verticals, different campaigns, scaling the budgets here, adding a T-ROAS when it gets to the point that it breaks, and continually optimizing the back end of the business as well. The retention side of things, the after sale process, the conversion rate optimization, all of that stuff to continue to get the most out of the money that we're putting into the ad campaign. So that's how we think about Google Ads. That's how to crush Google Ads on a small budget. It's also really important not to just continue to focus on it being like a small budget thing. Why are you thinking so small? Just like go bigger. Don't just like constrain yourself to like, okay, I've got like $12 a day and I need to scale it up. It's like, well, you know, if you built the system which can handle $100 a day and that's good for you and it's all profitable, then triple the budget, go to $300 a day, see what happens and then fix it from there. It's a marketing machine. You're gonna get new customers from this if you build it right. So this is how to build it right. This is how to crush Google Ads on a small budget. And if you want us to run Google Ads for you, get you from 0 to 5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10 on your Google Ads, then go to demandcapture.com, second link in the description, book a call. We'll sort you out right. We'll set you up on Google Ads. We'll get you started. If you are just thinking like, okay, I've got a small budget, how do I do it? We can still set you up and get it done right. We can get results even on a small budget, as you can see here. So book a call, work with us. And if you want more proof that we know what we're doing, click this video on screen here, case study on how we scale big brands as well as small brands on Google Ads. I'll see you in that video.